welcome back. I made a video on the garden and I wanted to do a little bit of speaking through it so that you can follow along with kind of what I did and what I planted and how it's gone. At my parents' house they have a garden, and I posted a video about how in the past I've grown some stuff in there, and just that one got a ton of views, and so I want to make another video to kind of show my journey through this year's garden. And so I started with, oh my gosh, it just had so many clovers in it. It was crazy. I ended up pulling two huge, well, almost two huge trash cans full of clovers. Just like, it was insane, just this sheer quantity of clovers that were growing in that area. And so that took me about a day. I spent about a day just going through and hoeing it and picking it up and weeding it and all of that. And that was enough for one day. Another day I came back and I went ahead, and this time I wanted to till the ground. I was gonna go and buy a tiller from Home Depot because they go for around like $30 or so if you want to rent them for a couple hours. And in the past, Blake and I have tried to till that garden when it was so dry, and it was just horrible. You had to step on the shovel to get it to go even inches into the ground. And so that was my plan, but my dad was like, you know what, give it a shot. Like, I think it's gonna be a lot easier than you think. And so I went ahead and, oh my gosh, the shovel glided through the dirt like butter. I think because it rained so much this last month, it was easy. So it was really, really easy. So we went ahead and I went ahead and tilled up the garden. Blake joined me, but he wasn't feeling super well. So he ended up just kind of hanging out, being my moral support. And that was totally fine with me because I love being able to have the hands-on experience in the garden and get to do it myself. So it was okay that he wasn't there to help me with the back laboring part because it ended up not being too intense. Yeah, so after I did that, I went through and raked it, and I added some stones in the garden. My dad has a bunch of just like big stepping stones that he just keeps and collects and uses and reuses, and so I was able to just use those, which was nice and affordable and easy. So that was another weekend of work. And then I ended up coming back another weekend, and I had gone out with Blake's mom, and we had stopped by Sprouts, and it was like crazy. They had all of this garden stuff, all these plants like grapevines and blackberries and strawberries on sale for like $1, and normally those are $15. I got like really into it and actually went ahead and called a bunch of Sprouts to see if their stuff was on sale, but it ended up being kind of a fluke thing. It was just that one Sprouts we went to, but that's fine with me. So glad I got stuff. So that's where I got 8 great plants, as well as I got some potatoes. So I know you can just buy potatoes in the produce section, as well as like garlic cloves and stuff, but I just thought it was nice to buy it in the bag and have the directions on how to grow it, not have to do any of the research. And if I were to do it again, I could just totally go to the produce section. So yeah, I ended up getting 3 different types of potatoes, 3 garlic bulbs, which you split off into the little garlic cloves and you plant those. A bunch of these tiny little they were sweet onions, I think, or yellow onions, and I use those a lot for cooking. They also had red onions, white onions, but it came in a pack of 80, and I was like, I do not need 8 times 3, 80 times 3 onions. That's like an insane amount. I had a packet of carrot seeds that I hadn't used, so I went ahead and used those. There was a blackberry bush my dad has, and it kind of was falling over, and so when it falls over, sometimes it'll root into the ground, and so parts of it were rooting into the ground, so I snapped off one of those, dug it out of the ground, and placed it in my garden. So we have another blackberry plant now. There's 3 strawberry varieties, so I just bought all 3 because I thought, why not? And they're already kind of grown. So we have those going. My dad had already from the past year asparagus, and I didn't know much about asparagus, but I guess it returns every year, and it takes a couple years to actually get to maturity and grow asparagus. So we have 3 of those little plants. And then I have a pretty weak tomato plant I grew from a seed earlier a couple months ago. It's been through a lot. I don't think it's gonna last. But anywho, so that was kind of the start to my garden. I've been planting a lot of stuff here at our apartment to get ready. So like pumpkin seeds, watermelon seeds, spinach seeds, some more tomato seeds. And so I'm excited to bring those over and plant them as well. I'll keep you updated, excited for the future pumpkins to be put in that garden, and some other stuff. And anyways, thank you for watching. Please comment below if you have any questions or if there's anything you're excited to grow this season, and I'll see you in the next video.